Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of First and Last. I am Josh, and with me, like usual, is Joe.
Hey, man.
And Jimmy.
What up, dogs?
Hey, are you looking at your thing?
I was just making sure it was the appropriate amount of volume.
Did I say it correctly? We've switched rooms in the new apartment that I have, and Joe can now see his wavelength, and I think it's going to freak him out.
I'm totally not self-conscious.
Well, you're going to know if you're too quiet or too loud. So,
just right the whole time.
Try not to stare at it.
There's also like a camera in here. I don't know what that's about. It looks kind of like a spider too. That's
it's
weird.
It's a week of new things. We got season 2 here, you know, so we're just
trying to actually
down.
perfect this podcast before we get to episode 50, you know?
Yeah. When the real season 1 starts.
Exactly.
And these are just warm-up episodes?
Yeah, we've been doing warm-ups for 42 weeks.
This is pre-season.
You've been lying to me and you haven't been posting these at all.
Every single week I just say a TV show, an episode number, and then it's just 10 seconds of just like me.
Like these mics haven't even been on for the past 40 weeks.
This is just a graphic that I made. Bounces back and forth on the TV right now.
Oh, that laugh was too loud.
Oh, jeez.
If you do want show notes in front of everybody, Joe, you do laugh pretty loud. I turn them down weekly.
Just like each
Edit
laugh
every
time.
Joe laugh.
A little valley in the volume whenever time. But speaking of volumes, has nothing to do with anything. Volumes. We're doing The Americans this week. And this just ended. I think by the time this posts, I think the show season finale was about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we're jumping on the bandwagon because somebody said it was a good show.
Seasons later. Do we know how many seasons this
6
is?
seasons. It was 6 seasons, 75
Hey, this show
episodes.
got canceled. You should watch it.
No, it just finished. It actually finished.
Oh, okay. That's an important distinction.
6 seasons feels like a good amount of seasons for a show. Like,
Is
if
that
you really
all-
know what you're doing,
Is that how long Breaking Bad went?
something like that.
Yeah, I think it went
5 or 6.
Yeah, it went about that long. And I've heard The Americans being called Breaking Bad caliber.
Oh.
And that's why I wanted to do it with you
That's
here,
bold.
Joe. Because you...
Breaking Bad is the bar.
Yeah, that's the bar right now for these 2 episodes that we're about to watch. Breaking Bad. Before we dive further into it, Joe, how does this show work, first and last?
We watched the first and last episode of a TV show and mostly talk about Frasier and Malcolm in the Middle.
I have thoughts on that.
Wait, what?
Okay, so I have no qualms with what he said. That is what our show is. Oh, to a T.
It's exactly what we do.
So while we like look up shows, I totally laughed too loud. I can see it.
Don't look at
Okay,
it.
so Brooklyn Nine-Nine had been announced that it got canceled from Fox,
But it
and
got
then like
picked up
immediately got picked up by NBC, I believe.
Yeah, NBC.
So I was like, well, I'm just gonna start binge watching it. So my wife and I started watching it, and Terry Crews is in it, and he's the best. He's jacked and he's hilarious. And he says in an episode, "We're gonna be cordial AF as Frasier." I love that show. That's the line, and I just went, "Where are my boys at for this line? This joke that was so perfect."
That is a good joke.
I like
Anyway,
it.
continue. What is this show we're doing? What's first and last?
You know, you watch a TV show, but only the first and last of it, and we make predictions and talk about it.
Correct.
It's pretty fun. Like, if you're new to this pod, like, go sift through. Yeah, sift through our backlog, find a show that you like, and then like play along with us. Like, just watch the first episode when we do, watch the last episode when we do.
Cry when we do. Laugh when we do. Poop when we do.
Yeah, it helps if you order some tacos.
Eat tacos.
Eat tacos when we do. All right.
Yeah.
So, The Americans, 6 seasons, like I said, 75 episodes, just ended May 30th of this year, and it started January 2013. The only thing that I really know about it, because I don't really know much about it at all, is that it's some sort of like spy show, I believe.
there are Russians involved.
Yeah, right. Because
there's a hammer and sickle on the
yeah. That's all I know is like the logo and like posters or whatever I've seen. It was just like looks like the Russian, I guess.
So I think what it is I think there's Russian spies in America pretending to be Americans.
Uh-huh.
They're the Americans.
Yeah, they're like a regular.
And that's who the Americans are.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
They're like a regular everyday couple who just happen to be Russian spies.
Okay. So, Carrie Russell.
Is she in the show?
Yeah.
I don't know who's in the show.
She's the only person I know that's in the show that I recognize.
Felicity.
Yeah.
Hopefully this show doesn't do as good as Felicity. So is she going to be a Russian
in this show? That blows my mind.
I mean, maybe.
I hate that.
Yeah, I mean,
so maybe you think we're gonna like be sympathizing with the Russian spies in this show?
I don't know. Maybe it plays with your emotions a little bit. Like,
interesting.
We'll see. I mean,
Wow, Joe.
I'm so shook by the camera and the waves.
You just had a meltdown. A little bit.
I had to reboot.
I'm glad that we got that.
Control Alt deleted myself.
Yes, shows.
I think this is a real thing, right? I thought I remembered
what, Russian spies or
okay. There was a story in like the early 2000s, I think, or maybe like late 2000s, where they had found these Russian spies and they were just like living like normal people in America, but they were like
in the early 2000s, or a story that came out at that time about an earlier time.
No, it was like present day. Like, hey, we just found these spies.
Interesting.
Like sometime in like maybe mid 2000s. I'm hedging now, but it was like we're gonna
Google this and
just like living like normal people, pretending there's like normal people living in the burbs, but they're actually Russian spies.
I'm into that. Do we think this show is gonna be? Are they gonna be like already there, established? Like they're gonna have their house already and their dog.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how it's gonna start. I don't think we're gonna. I think it's gonna flash backwards as the show goes on, probably. So I think they're already gonna be in
flashbacks.
Yeah, I think for the first 5 minutes of the show before like the title card, like everything seems as if they're just like normal people. Mm-hmm. And then there's like a turn where what
is going to be like because I bet that's exactly what's going to happen, and then it's going to show something.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be like the Americans.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck yeah.
They're talking to their neighbors and they're talking about how they just like came back from Home Depot and they're like just dropping off some stuff. But then after that conversation, they pop the trunk and there's just like a dead body.
I think they do. They're outside. It's a nice day. Mm-hmm. They're talking to their neighbors and like, cool, whatever. And then they like open the garage door or go into their garage or their basement and they're like waterboarding somebody.
Oh, no.
And that's how you figure out that they're Russian evil spies.
Oh, man.
So some Russian spies were found in New Jersey in 2010.
There you go.
Oh, and this show started in 2013.
They had been gathering information
Plagiarism.
since the 90s.
Plagiarism.
There you go. That was totally it.
That's the show. That's it right there. Jimmy, you got any thoughts about the first episode before we dive in? So it's Carrie Russell. Who's the dude?
Who's
the dude?
Didn't recognize him, but
no name.
I can't
he's a
believe
guy
she's not. That she's
it's like
Russian.
John. It's like John Hamm.
Yeah, it's a guy whose name is also Carrie Russell.
That'd be great.
Like Kerry.
It probably is someone big. I just didn't pay attention because I saw Carrie Russell.
That's fair. I wonder if she can travel through time in this show too.
Russell Carey.
Oh well, my only bet is how I guess the only bet I've got on this episode then is that first card, and I think before the Americans post, it's waterboarding.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, how did you think they were gonna show that they were spies? Like, kind of jar us before they do the title screen.
I said it that they open the trunk and there's a dead body.
Okay, Jimmy.
In this first episode?
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe you just don't even think that's gonna happen. We just think they're gonna like be normal, jar us.
Oh, I see.
And then title
I gotcha.
card.
I really want to believe that it's going to be like some James Bond stuff where they're gonna just like a wall panel is gonna come up, or like a bookcase is gonna turn, and it's gonna be like Russian monitors and like
so like
radio
a
signals.
control. You're going control room.
Walk into control room, and then
I like that.
Americans.
Yeah.
Cool. We got dead body control rooms and waterboarding. Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
I changed my mind. I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna have a conversation and then walk into their house and then look at each other and go, "We're spies," and then it flashes.
But they're gonna say it in Russian,
each other.
looking into the camera.
Interesting.
If Carrie Russell does a Russian accent, I feel like it's gonna be ridiculous. If that's a thing.
It's gonna be awful. I'm gonna be so sad.
We'll see. All right. Well, let's see if she does a Russian accent. We'll see you guys after that.
Weenie, weenie,
There,
Russians.
see, that's when you know we're done. We're not done until Jimmy makes the noise.
Spies.
And we're back. We're done.
Weird noises.
The Americans, the pilot.
Oh, I had a thing.
Oh, good. I know. Of course he did. Come on.
Josh.
Jesus, Jimmy.
I'm ruining this.
What are your initial thoughts while Jimmy gets his thing out?
You know, it was gave me some Breaking Bad vibes for sure, man.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I like
it's people trying to, you know, they have a secret life going on, and you know that part of their life is very interesting. Well, they're trying to hold it together on the other end too.
I would say Breaking Bad obviously is like there's definitely two main characters in this show. Whereas Breaking Bad's obviously very focused on Walter White.
Yeah.
So
well, and Jesse,
but it's like the first episode is so much Walter.
Yeah.
So it's trying to juggle between these two, Philip and Elizabeth
Jennings.
Yeah. And then it brought in that FBI guy.
The Uncle Hank of the show.
yeah. But he lives closer than Uncle Hank.
Yeah.
But he's definitely in it.
Stan
Beeman. You got that right up before we keep going?
Yeah. So first of all, just the show one on the page is: at the height of the Cold War, 2 Russian agents pose as your average American couple, complete with family. And then the episode is: Philip and Elizabeth Jennings are 2 seemingly normal Americans who are really undercover KGB agents. After kidnapping a Soviet director, they discover their new neighbor is an FBI agent assigned to their case, which is pretty fun.
He's just assigned to like counterintelligence.
Yeah, but they're like in the thing they're talking about
Russians.
The Russian guy who was captured, like they were looking for him.
Yeah.
They're also trying to find that same guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it started off my first question. Well, my first thought was bummer because the cold open was not in a suburb. It was Carrie Russell S&D. some D.
Yeah, she was full on doing some spy stuff right away.
Yeah.
It opens on her in a wig, and it's like, okay, I guess we're going straight to the spy stuff.
All right. She's a spy. That's for sure. And then like for about probably over half of the episode, for a while, I was like, is she American or is she Russian? And whose side is she on? And then they just kind of 3/4 of the way through it, she was like, Russia's my home. We are KGB agents. And I was like, okay, I actually appreciate you just saying that out loud.
You didn't get that by her S in the American Justice Department guy's D for information right off the bat?
Well, it could have, I was like, maybe I was kind of
double.
Maybe she was a double agent. Maybe they were just Americans. And they were the counterintelligence people against the Russian people because they caught that Russian guy.
Just Americans.
So I couldn't.
S&D.
Yeah, there could have been a turn there.
It was for me a little bit ambiguous right away who was the Russian spies for sure, or just really who Carrie Russell and that other guy were, who the Jennings were.
Yeah, sure.
So I didn't know.
I also thought that there was a chance that because they were toying with the idea of turning themselves into the Americans and ditching Russia at this point, which I thought that there's a chance that like that might happen in this first episode.
And then the whole show is just them being like double spies in a way. Yeah.
They just become Americans. That would make sense.
Yeah. But they were Russian spies that became Americans. So that would have worked too.
Yeah.
Would have worked in this clever naming of TV shows.
Anything could happen at this point.
Anything can happen. So, oh yeah, because when I was trying to figure out whether or not she was like Russian or American, it was like she was obviously like with that, but I was like, maybe she is Russian then, because then we got her like training in Russia.
Yeah,
for a little bit before we.
Very clearly Russian at that point.
Yeah, she was, but then the husband wasn't clearly Russian for a while, and I was like, does he know things?
Yeah.
And then
even when they introduced him in the like flashback, there was a lot of flashbacks in this. He was speaking like in his American accent.
Well, they both
also that guy's he's English. He's an English actor.
Well, they can do any accent.
God damn it, I know. It's ridiculous.
They do American the best. Better than us.
He had such an American voice, the most American voice ever.
Howdy, I'm American.
That's it. That was it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like that guy.
I sound like that British actor because I'm American.
But yeah, their cover was very deep in that even while they're in training, they're like speaking English and they don't talk about their past lives. And
that was cool. That was ingenious. I was like, that is super ingenious and like evil. That is super Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need, this life doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you talk to each other at all, you just don't. And then she started telling him her past at the end of the show. And honestly, I was a little disappointed in that. I was like, oh, never tell him.
But that, gives us some room to develop. Like, oh, she was a person before this.
Yeah, right.
She loves Mother Russia for some reason.
Yeah,
even though the electricity is better here.
Yeah, that's funny. I liked that last scene when they were in like the hotel and they first got there and they stood in front of the air conditioner and they're like, it's cold air? This is amazing. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, that must be it. That's a thing, huh? That's crazy.
It's just always cold in Russia, I assume. I don't know.
They don't need air conditioners in Russia.
They have big coats.
Never above 0 Celsius.
I have a couple thoughts on these characters.
Bring it.
That I found. So, Carrie Russell,
thoughts?
Felicity.
Yeah.
I assume it's just that maybe we found out in Felicity at some point that she was actually Russian, but we didn't watch that part because it was in the middle.
Oh, so you think
this is just an extension?
This is just a part of Felicity.
This is just the same universe.
I'm into it.
Although this isn't J.J. Abrams.
I don't think that doesn't mean that this can't go off the rails.
True. It definitely seems like it will do that a lot. So Carrie Russell, other guys, Matthew Rhys, something, R-H-Y-S.
Rhys.
Any predicts on how that's pronounced?
Rhys Rice.
Rihike.
I said he's British. He was in The Post. If you saw that with Hankson.
Tom Hankson?
The woman who wins everything.
Meryl Streep?
Hankson Streep. Is The Post. It's really good. Watch it. And
Was that Meryl Streep? Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome.
Of course it was. Huh. I gave the perfect description.
It was. I got it 100%.
So that and British stuff. FBI guy. Noah Emmerich or something.
Yeah, that guy.
Is that his name?
Uh-huh.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
Truman Show.
Oh yeah, he's in the Truman Show.
That's where I know him from.
Which is great. I recognize him right away as being have you watched The Walking Dead?
No.
Season 1, he's like a big guy at the very end of Walking Dead.
Oh, he's the doctor.
He's the CDC
doctor guy, yeah.
He's in lots of stuff. He's also in the movie Miracle.
The hockey movie against the Russians?
Yeah. With Kurt Russell. It's great.
He's never a Russian. He's always an American.
If you're a
against
hockey
the
player, you've seen this movie 1,000 times and know his Kurt Russell's speech by heart. Have you seen that little kid doing that? It was like a 3-year-old doing his speech. It's pretty amazing.
Maybe he just likes acting with the Russell family. Is that
the link will be below? But so the director of this, or the creator of this show, of The Americans, was the director of Miracle.
Okay.
Which is, I think it's weird to do. Is it weird like to do a TV show when you're a movie director? He like created this show.
I don't know.
Directed.
I mean, do you think it because people do like TV and then move to movies, and it's weird to go from movie to TV? Because I think
suppose you got to step off.
Because I think it's very common to go from TV to movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess
that movie was before this show for sure.
Right, yeah. So is it weird to go from movie to TV?
Is that his most famous movie?
Yeah, I did not recognize anything
Miracle
else.
I mean, whoever directed Miracle, that's their most famous movie, unless Steven Spielberg did Miracle.
Yeah,
that'd be funny.
I guess it's just interesting that it's because I've never seen Miracle, but it just seems like it's such a different movie from what this show was.
I would agree with that.
Other than there's Russians.
Yeah. other than the Russians are obviously the bad guys.
Maybe he just felt bad that he made the Russians seem like such the bad guys that now he wanted to make an empathetic show towards some Russians.
Maybe they could be good. Well, see, in this show, I think in a way the Russians are going to be both the good and the bad guys, essentially.
I bet it'll be pretty gray. I bet you'll see some American bullshit going on.
We're good at it.
Yeah,
I goofed it up. He didn't direct. He directed this. He didn't create it.
Okay.
Joseph Weisberg.
Shut the pot off.
We're starting over. Joseph Weisberg, who hasn't done anything else. He wrote some show called Falling Skies. Have you heard of that?
October Sky, starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
Falling Sky sounds vaguely familiar. I think it's was it on Sci-Fi or something?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I
didn't click.
No,
well, it makes slightly more sense that guy made this show and not the guy who directed a Miracle.
Yeah. Let's see. The only other character I had that I recognize is Maximiliano Hernandez, who
was that the little bald?
He's the little bald
guy?
agent,
mm-hmm.
and he is also a little bald, scurly agent. He's in the Marvel stuff. He's Agent Sitwell, and he's in Thor and the Avengers and Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's a Hydra guy. He's the bad guy who's
and there's
infiltrated.
Evil Russians in that too.
And he's probably Russian.
Hydra's kind of evil Germans, I guess, aren't they, for the most part?
Yeah, originally they're basically
Black
Nazis.
Widow's Russian.
Yeah, Black Widow's Russian.
But she's a good girl.
And so is
she's got red in
Elizabeth
her
Jennings.
Yeah.
You know why I thought you were going to say the Scarlet Witch instead?
So I think we were going in, I feel like we knew, or we were pretty on point with what we thought the show was going to be, like a Russian couple acting as an American family. Was there anything that surprised you in particular about the pilot?
Oh man, so many things.
Yeah.
There was a couple well, I guess I didn't expect the fight scene right off the bat.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming. That's definitely a different thing than the Breaking Bad thing. It was a choreographed knife fight. Guy shot out a hidden spy blade.
Yeah, we were shown that both of these main characters are badass fighters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did not see that coming.
I don't know why, but I thought it was going to be a little bit more campy than it was.
Okay.
That's why it was it's going to start off in in a suburb, and it's going to be we're all great, happy family kind of thing.
Yeah, not a whole lot of jokes.
I thought it was going to be literally the colors were going to be brighter. Mm-hmm. And it was going to be it was set in the 80s, which I didn't think of the timeline, but I thought it was going to be it was going to have colors sort of that bright 1950s 60s America.
Sure.
That kind of color palette in a way.
Orange.
And everything was going to be bright, and this is America, and then we're spies, and it was going to be really weird and dark at times with them, but part of it was going to be really campy and bright kind of thing. And that was not. It was just kind of
that was not
a darker palette the whole time, and just a real drama show.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what to expect.
I didn't expect there to be for them to have children. That was a surprise for me.
Yeah.
That just showed how deep into this undercover that they are. That they're
well, because they got here in '65 and it was '81.
Yeah.
So
Just
that's
hung
they're
out
16 years deep
and had
at the start of the
kids.
show.
Yeah, the kids really added a super real like juxtaposition to all the crazy shit that was going on. There was a lot like, okay, so the other big surprise for me was the fucking rape scene.
Oh yeah.
Huge surprise.
I'll be honest, it was pretty heavy. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Because that was pretty early on
pilot
too. Like, and I was like, wow, we're going hard to the paint right now.
So then immediately after that was like she was like making breakfast for her kids or something, and it was like, dear God, like this is a wild show.
I mean, it's definitely a convincing way to make that like part of Russia seem very cold. Like, you know, just be like, and it wasn't, that was the same guy that was in their trunk, right?
Yeah.
So that obviously, that's a pretty easy way of going, you know who this guy is? Obviously he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and then I think like the other important thing about that is he apologizes and says like, well, that was just the thing. They just let us have our way with the cadets. And she's like ready to kill him, but then she doesn't. Like, she has that coldness in her too, that like, you know, you would totally expect her to like get her revenge and just like kill this guy. You would like, for anybody, you'd be like, yeah, you should totally kill that guy. But for her, like in that moment, she was just like, well, like, let's stick to the mission. And
yeah,
I mean, she still wanted to kill him the whole time, but she just didn't then.
Yeah.
And her husband grabbed him by the throat and somehow just killed him by his throat, and it was weird. Like broke his neck.
Yeah, it was a weird kill.
And then they acid boiled him.
Just like Breaking Bad.
They Breaking Bagged him.
Nice.
I was proud of that joke.
That's a good, yeah. It's good to bring back.
Cool. Anything else before we dip into the predicts? The cool, warm prediction pool?
What one of the just one more thing is the towards the end she like met with a KGB guy who Elizabeth Jennings did, and it was like he's trying to figure out because they were supposed to hand off this guy to him or something, and he's like, you didn't make the drop off point, but like so there's a lot of flashing of dates and places, so you would know where, like, if it's a flashback and stuff. This one said KGB safe house in Maryland, and for some reason that was really real to me. Like, oh God,
Well, they were. I mean,
like a KGB safe house in Minneapolis.
I mean,
for some reason
they're
that
doing
just
it right.
becomes really real to me. To be like, this is where we are.
Well, they were Russian spies in Washington D.C., so they were already
Right.
Russian spies in Maryland.
Yeah. In 2010, there were
But
Russian spies in New Jersey, so.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I expect that in Jersey. It's a
It's full
It's
of
not-
spies.
That's
dirty,
not
terrible
that far.
place.
That's not that
Lousy
far
with
deep,
spies.
you know. Jersey, lousy with spies.
Home of the spies.
Come at us, Jersey.
It's the only thing Jersey's known for is spies.
Yeah, and it's sunny sometimes.
It's the wrong.
That's
wrong
Philadelphia.
place.
Spies and
Close
shores.
enough.
That's all Jersey's known for. All right, predictions?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll do mine first because I think mine are all correct.
Ooh.
I don't think so. Number 1, Philip dies, and Elizabeth goes back to Russia, but as a spy for the United States.
Okay.
So she is flipped.
You think Philip dies in this episode?
I can't decide whether or not I think he's dead or dies.
Okay.
I think he's.
But she's flipped and he's dead.
Yep.
Okay.
One of the kids is dead.
Oh no!
You bastard.
They raped her in episode 1. They can kill an
heartless.
episode sometime. I think killing a kid, to be completely honest, is like less bad than what they did to her already.
It's in a similar plane.
I mean, if they do it quick, I think it'll be fine. I think there's going to be talk or showing of the nuclear clock in this last episode.
Because this is probably 1987 or so. If it's 1 year per.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
potentially century. I was
Okay.
trying to figure out like what was
87.
potentially going on around then, and I couldn't really figure it out. But they were talking about nuclear stuff, and I figured they're gonna it's gonna be more heated in the show than it was in real life,
Okay.
or at least whatever. So I figured nuclear clock talk. There's nuclear shit going on.
Clock talk.
And then number 4, I think there'll be another knife fight in this last episode. Ooh. I think that's the bookmark.
Can only hope. That's the one thing I recall.
Yep, a knife fight.
It's literally just the same scene.
I'm into it. It's just exactly the same.
Yeah.
Same characters. Like the one guy's dead. He's a zombie and he's fighting.
Chop a different character's head in front of the other guy.
It's perfect. It's perfect. All right. Who's next?
Well,
paper, rock, scissors.
I forgot to come up with predictions, but here we go.
So, wait, is it because you were so engulfed?
Maybe. I don't know. Also had a great bowl. That was fantastic.
We can't let Joe eat food anymore.
Did you want me to go first?
No, I got this.
Second? Okay,
I got this.
Because you didn't write anything down.
No,
so you can't leave the room and go get your predictions. You just didn't.
I just leave the room and you just hear me just like scribbling predictions down.
You're writing so hard we can hear you writing from the other room.
I think Elizabeth and Philip both die at the end of this finale.
Okay, so they're both alive and then die.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then maybe just like part 1B of that is I think the FBI agent from that first episode. Like I think he's a big part of the show, but I think he dies before this finale.
Okay.
Kind of like Uncle Hank in Breaking Bad. He's, clearly a part of it and like finds them out, but he also dies. I think that the Russians kill them. It's not the Americans.
Kill Elizabeth and Philip Jennings?
Right.
Okay.
Because they're like winding down this like spy program and they're coming after them for some reason.
We're done.
They're ending the program.
Murdering everybody.
And by that, they're just killing everybody?
Yep.
Sounds like a way a Russian would end a program.
That's how you end that program, man.
Sorry for our Russian viewers. It's not you. It's your KGB.
I want to say the last 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, that's too long. Last 3 minutes of the show is mostly a montage with a pop song playing over it.
Not Phil Collins?
Yeah, kind of like the Phil Collins bit in this pilot.
Except for way less close-up sex.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the Phil Collins thing was, is this what it was? They were on the way. They had killed the Russian guy. They had him in the trunk, and they were on the way to go boil him in acid.
No, they already did it.
Yeah, they did.
They had already done it?
Yeah,
This was after?
She was super hot because she had Breaking Bagged a guy.
Yeah.
And so they were listening to Phil Collins and then decided to bang it out in their car.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that happens again, except they're dying and it's a different song.
All right.
How many predicts I got so far?
3.5.
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
One more. And there's there's an appearance of Ronald Reagan.
Okay.
That's
still
clearly not the real Ronald Reagan. It might just be footage or an actor playing Ronald Reagan.
He's just around.
He's featured in the episode.
All right, cool. I'm in.
Love it. I think the finale is going to be about them defecting and becoming Americans, and that's the why the show's really called The Americans.
So at the end they go, and now we're Americans.
We're spies.
But they say it in Russian.
I think. Let's see. I'm pretty sure. So there was another fun little part in the pilot where a really gross guy in a department store is all nasty with the daughter Paige, and is like, "Ugh, she looks ready to meet Pop," and he's just real rapey with kids. That's a great look.
Yeah, that guy was yucky.
And then at the end of the show, Philip is in a disguise and beats the shit out of him.
His disguise was fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. He looked super dope in his disguise.
Yeah, he looked like a character from the movie Hot Rod or something. Anyway,
okay.
But in that but Philip's like, she's 13, so she's gonna be 18, I'm assuming, and she's like going to college. This is college years, but because part of their defection to the government is like they've weaseled that she can go wherever she wants, and she's like going to Yale or something, going to Ivy League, just because she can.
So one of your predictions is just that the daughter's going to an Ivy League school.
Yeah, as part of their defection.
Like that's part of. Oh, I get it. Okay.
Like she's super dumb, but somehow got into Yale.
Yeah, she's not super smart. You'd think she would be, though. You'd think these kids would be like pretty badass.
You think they're gonna know Russian?
That's not a prediction, though.
No.
But no. Number two, number three. Nice. I think nice. I think Stan is dead. I think he's been dead.
Yeah.
Dead and gone. I don't think he's even referenced in this. Number 4, this is 87, so I'm assuming they're going to talk about how the Twins won the World Series.
You assume that they're going to talk about that.
Yeah, because it's 1987.
Well, baseball is the most American thing.
And
I
that's
guess.
the one thing that I know about 1987. Is that the Twins, I was 2, and the Twins won the World Series for the first time.
I bet they don't even get there. I bet it's like 1983 by the time the show ends.
Whatever, Joe.
I guess they got kids, so it'd be hard to do that with the kids. We'll see.
We sure will. Should we see now?
Let's see it.
We're Russian spies. Let's go watch it.
Okay, we'll see you after the finale. All right. Okay, bye. And we're all spies.
We're spies, and we've reported back to Russia.
The motherland is pleased with the work that we've done.
Are they, though?
I don't know.
Probably
I'm
not,
not actually
really.
sure.
She murdered a KGB agent in the previously on, so kind of doubt they're super happy.
She had sunglasses on. No one knows it's her.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah,
Probably
they're definitely masters of disguise.
They did a pretty good job. to be
Dana
honest.
Carvey.
When it came to disguises, when they changed disguises to like leave the country,
Yeah.
it was
like
good.
Like you do.
Yeah, it was good. Do you have a thingy, Jimmy?
No one caught my Dana Carvey joke. He had a movie called Masters in Disguise.
Was it Master of Disguise?
I don't know.
Turtle.
That's the only
is that
part
the-
that I know is the turtle part.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the description, just get ready for this description. So the finale
Prepping.
of season 10 of the series, it's called Start,
Season
May
6,
30th.
episode
Whatever I said,
10.
I said it and I stand by it.
But that's fine. Yeah.
44 minutes long. I'm stalling because here's the actual recap. The Jennings family face a choice that will change their lives forever. Period.
Oh, well, hey. It's a pretty solid.
I mean, technically, it's true.
Yeah, that's a very.
That's the most like detailed descript you can find.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, no, the most detailed descript I could find was pages long.
I mean, essentially, what happened was
There was no in between.
the mom and the dad, Philip and Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
They were Philip got. It sounded like he said he got caught, so they knew they found out they were spies, and they had to escape back to Russia. And so they tried to grab their older daughter, Paige.
Who's at college?
Yeah, so they try to scoop her
Possibly
up.
Yale, we don't know.
Inconclusive. Didn't look like Yale. Didn't look like downtown Yale to me. But they try to scoop her up from college and then head out through taking a train to Canada.
Yeah, and they're leaving behind their son. What's his name? Kevin or something? Henry, because he has a life or something.
Well, he didn't know. He never knew.
He knows nothing, so
And
he's innocent.
I don't know how
Paige
old.
knew.
I don't know how old the daughter is, but is only known for a couple of years, according to them. So she
Yeah.
probably found out midway through the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think she was a spy. Is there a bug in here? There's a bug in the room.
Could you hear it? Is that how you knew?
No, you guys all looked up.
Oh.
Everybody looked up while I was talking, and I was like,
Gone. Flew behind the soundproofing.
"Yeah, it's fine." Bugs, man.
Edit that out.
Edit the bug out.
Yeah.
But so then they get on the train. They put on their disguises. Well, first they go to McDonald's, the most American thing in the world. Which is
one last time.
They go to McDonald's and U2 is playing.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
Everything
it's kind of a slow.
Everything that's wrong with America happened.
There's like a slow montage.
Yeah, there's 2 pop song montages.
Yeah.
Even
Dire Straits
even though,
and
like,
U2.
U2, Bono's not like from. They're not even like from America.
Yeah, it's true.
But like they're like essentially an American pop band, even though they're not from here.
I mean, they're huge here.
Yeah,
That's
they're
true.
very big here. And then they took off to the train, and then when they were on the train, Paige got off somehow because they weren't sitting together. They were trying to be secret.
Yeah.
And then
she just walked off.
She just walked off
when
the border patrol was checking everyone's passport. She just got off the train. Clever girl.
Yeah.
She just like walked back home.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uber or whatever.
She probably got a little
1987 version of Uber.
She's probably at a train station, so probably Uber.
Yeah, I guess she's at a train station, so she could just take another train back.
Yeah, she literally just takes.
There was probably already a scheduled train in the opposite direction. I've never been.
She's a smart one. Plotted this out.
How did she ever get back? Oh, she followed the only track she was on the other way.
Directly home.
She did it
from whence she came.
And then the other big part, I guess. So the parents went back to Russia, and then the 2 kids stayed back. They left Henry, and Paige decided to stay, but Stan, the FBI neighbor guy, was still around.
Yeah, and he had confronted them in the garage.
Yeah, that was I liked
Big
that
part.
whole part. That was great.
That was a good felt like a good 10-minute scene.
Yeah, they talked things out, and then in the end, Stan just like let him go.
Yeah,
It was like
he had gun drawn and everything.
That was like a. It was
Very
like
upset.
Stan was Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Philip was Anakin, and he was like, "We were like brothers. Why did you do this?"
Yeah, I'm following.
Except it was better than that because it was a good show.
No one's legs got cut off.
Don't do it, Anakin. I have the high ground. Yeah, and so
who's Elizabeth and Paige in this scenario?
C-3PO and R2-D2.
Fair enough. I thought one of them was. I thought I was gonna
One
give
of them
Paige
was Padme.
I was gonna give Paige Padme.
Paige
I
is
mean,
Padme?
technically, Elizabeth would be Padme,
Yeah, I guess.
and then Paige would just be Leia.
No, they're droids.
I love it.
Jimmy, you're peeking.
Oh, balls.
Laughing too loud.
I can tell that now.
But yeah, I thought that was really good. That whole scene was good. But my one thing that I actually thought about the whole show was like when Paige got off the train and they left, I was like, should have ended right there. That would have been awesome. I think done. Show's done. Because the rest of it was just like
Didn't need to show them entering Russia.
they just got to
checking
Russia
out
and
Moscow,
they just got to Russia
skyline.
and looked. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that whole end part where they were already in Russia, just like driving to wherever they're going, was real long.
And it didn't do anything. They just stopped and looked at Russia lights and were like, "They'll be okay."
And it was interspersed with other stuff, like Paige gets back to their like family home and takes out that
the vodka.
ice cold liquid potato treat,
Yeah.
as the kids say.
As the kids in Russia say, liquid potato treat.
Yeah. But like that, you don't
Takes
even
a
need.
shot.
Mama, can I have some liquid potato treat?
I guess the one thing you do see is that Stan goes to Henry's school or like the ice rink that he's playing hockey on, and it looks like you don't see what he says, but it looks like he tells them about what happened to his parents.
Yeah, I would assume that's what he did.
He's explaining to Henry that they're gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point, I don't remember if it was Dire Straits or U2, Stan goes like home to sleeping Walking Dead girl.
Yep.
I don't know her name.
Her name was Andrea on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and her name's Renee in this.
And her name's Renee, and she played one of a senator in the original X-Files.
Yeah.
For a while.
And she's like asleep and he just watches her because Philip had made a comment like as Stan was letting them go in the parking garage. It was like, I don't know for sure, but I think Renee is one of us. Like that she's a Russian sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
I like
definitely clearly like maybe married or together.
Yeah,
with
it seems
Stan.
seems like that's his new girlfriend.
Seems like that would be even more of a bomb drop if your own like.
I like the idea that since we didn't see it, that we've never had any reason to think that at all, and that Stan's just fucking with him. like hey, don't know this, probably a Russian spy.
Oh, that
and, like,
Philip is messing with Stan.
Yeah, there's been no hint in the show at all towards this.
That is so mean.
I'm assuming like us as the viewers of the whole show probably were like, oh yeah, she's totally a Russian spy. We know
Yeah.
that. But I like the idea.
I don't know. I think there's a chance that maybe that was a bombshell for the last episode.
Spinoff.
Like maybe,
Ooh.
yeah, like maybe what's his name? What was his name?
Stan?
Peter, was it?
Who are you talking
Philip?
about?
Maybe Philip was telling the truth, but maybe it wasn't known to the viewers until the end there. That would be an interesting reveal.
Tweet at us at FNL Podcast if you know that if we knew. Because we'll never know. Well, maybe we will, but whatever. Question for everybody, though.
Mm-hmm.
How would you escape the United States if you were a spy and had to get out?
You just dig a tunnel.
Yeah, underground tunnel.
Underground
Like
tunnels.
straight down or like down and to the left?
Down and to the left. Like, oh no, like I'm not digging to China. I'm just digging to Canada.
Oh, yeah.
No, this tunnel already exists. You just have to walk down to it and get in the capsule that shoots you to the across the border underground.
Yeah. Joe, you said, no, I'm not digging to China like it was silly because you're going to dig a tunnel out of the United States.
Yeah, it's a Canada. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's a much shorter distance.
Fair
Not
enough.
that far from here.
I mean, it is. I guess in all fairness, it would be easier to dig a tunnel to Canada from here than to dig a tunnel to China from here.
I mean, legitimately, you just gotta avoid. So if you're a wanted person, you gotta avoid being caught at the border. So you need to either have a fake passport with a disguise, like they did, or you gotta like hide in someone's trunk when they drive across the border, right?
Yeah. I'll be honest. I was wondering whether or not like it showed a picture of them. Mm-hmm. And I kind of was like, maybe they're going to just like shave his head so he's got like a bald top.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Or something like I don't know. I was like, that would probably change the way he looks pretty bad and crazy. And then he had like wire rim glasses or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to change the hell out of what a guy looks like.
Yeah. It seems like they probably do a lot of disguises in the show.
Maybe
a lot of.
They did a bunch in the pilot.
I just figured last episode, shave his head. That's what I wanted. I just wanted him to shave his head.
Yeah, sure.
Just to get it done. Not into it? Joe's like, I ain't shaving my head even to escape the law.
Like, I was just blown away that like she didn't actually cut her hair for her disguise. Like I didn't know it was a wig.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, is this a time jump? Because like now her hair is long?
I mean, it was a time jump, but it was only like 16 hours probably. Not weeks and months for the hair to grow back. Okay. I was just trying to figure out, like, they took a train to Canada. They flew to somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like they just... And then they drove up to the Russian
Europe
border
somewhere.
or whatever. So they...
Yeah.
I just don't think you'd fly directly to Russia from Canada.
No, it seems suspicious.
Yeah.
You just drive over once you're in Europe.
Yeah. Go to Germany or the Czech Republic or something like that.
Yeah. I don't even know what borders Russia. Whatever's close.
I mean, those are not bordering Russia, but, you know, they're close enough. Everything's within a couple 100 miles and you're up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just take a puddle jumper.
Excuse me?
It's just a small plane.
No.
Excuse you.
So the only other like plot
You
thing that I'm
puddle
thinking
jumper.
of that we haven't talked about is that so another FBI agent throughout this thing is interrogating a Russian Orthodox priest.
Oh yeah,
who
I
apparently
forgot about
had
him.
ties to the KGB and had like met with the Jennings a bunch of times, and like the guy like breaks him and he like gives them descriptions, gives the FBI descriptions of the Jennings, and then that's how at the end then the guy's like, these are Stan's neighbors. And so he goes to Stan, instead plays it cool and pretends like he didn't know, but he was like, I suspected it, and the guy was like, I didn't listen to you, man, like it's on me or whatever. And then he just walks away, and that's the only other thing.
And none were the wiser.
Yeah, played it cool.
Yeah. That's kind of an interesting difference from Breaking Bad, because in Breaking Bad, like, when Uncle Hank finds out, there's no, like, bartering or deal making, like, no, you can just let us go. Like, Hank's like, I'm turning you in.
Right. Yeah, I can definitely see this, like, Hank, Walt, Stan, Philip kind of, like, mirrored relationships for there. They're not like family, but they move in, and it sounds like by the end they were definitely like pretty much family.
Yeah.
Because he like asked him to take care of Henry. Like, take care of my son.
Crazy. Didn't see that coming.
Very interesting. If you're like the arresting FBI agent, well, are you the concluding one because they got away, and then you're taking care of the Russian agent's son?
Yeah.
Inclusion. I don't know.
They were Americans after all.
I don't know if I have some suspect to Philip's judgment on that, seeing that the guy was in the FBI for 6 years and didn't realize that his neighbors were spies. He's clearly terrible at his job. He also doesn't wear seatbelts, so, bad parent. Bad example.
When was he not wearing a seatbelt?
Right at the beginning, like he called
Jimmy made a comment about it while we were watching the show.
He called their like travel agent business that the Jennings are apparently currently working at, and the guy was like, "Oh, they're not
That's
here
their
right
car
now."
wash.
Then he called them at home, and it went to the answering machine, and he got in the car and did not put a seatbelt on. So I looked it up, and in the 80s, because I was like, oh, maybe there wasn't even laws, but in 84, I think New York passed a seatbelt law. But more importantly, New Hampshire still doesn't have a seatbelt law.
They don't have a click it or ticket?
No, they're the only state left, but they have no seatbelt laws whatsoever.
Oh, as of today?
Yeah, as of right now.
Live free or die hard, you know?
Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
So let's go. Let's go and just drive around.
Those are my thoughts on New Hampshire.
Fair enough.
So yeah. So what are you guys doing after this? Quick New Hampshire
road trip.
Oh, you mean you want to go to New Hampshire? Pass.
I'll just drive you around the block here, and you can not wear a seatbelt. My car will complain and beep, but that's fine.
Oh, that's the worst.
Cars are so smart these days. Like, come on. Come on. Put a seatbelt on.
Cars these days, man.
Am I right?
Stay tuned for our other pod after this.
Cars these days.
Our car pod.
I think Paige was my favorite character in the end.
Oh yeah.
Paige is great.
We're team Paige.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I love to see some Paige development, especially like I'm sure there's probably maybe she's just a kind of young dumb kid for 3 seasons or whatever until she finds out, and then there's probably a lot of character building after that.
Yeah, I bet she becomes really fun when she finds out. She gets
it kind of she has some control then, you know. I don't have a curfew. You're a spy.
You're not my dad. I'm still your dad. No, you're not.
Yeah, I am your dad. I'm just a spy too. And stop saying that out loud. Come on.
We're at a McDonald's.
She learns like just a bunch of Russian swears.
Why do we keep going to McDonald's, Dad? Because we're Americans. And that's what we do in America.
All right, should we move on?
We can do predictions. Joe, do you remember yours at all? I wrote them down.
I had that the couple, the Jenningses, both die by the end of the episode.
Yep.
They did not.
And you also said they died by the hands of the Russians as well.
Yeah, not true. But the Russians were after them.
Sure. Sort of.
Sure. What else did I have?
FBI agent's dead.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yep. Appearance of Reagan.
Oh, I forgot to look for that one.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see him either.
At the very in the intro, he's got like his pictures on like the intro.
Okay.
You know, like the title thing, but that's not an appearance of him within the episode.
Oh, yeah.
And then you said the last 3 minutes would be a pop song like montage.
Yeah, there's a couple pop song montages, but it wasn't at the ending. I guess.
You got the timing wrong on that one.
Every time there was a pop song montage, I was like, "Oh, is this over? Is this it?"
No, they had to stop quietly and look at Russia's lights instead.
Oh, it did look beautiful.
So we're not giving that to. I'm not giving that to Joe.
Why would you give it to him?
So I got 0 on that.
I would think so.
Nyet.
Don't worry.
I don't know how to say 0 in Russian.
0. I'm following you. I'm following you up with a big old 0-2, Joe. Philip dies and Elizabeth goes back to Russia as a spy for the U.S. I almost said she just went back to Russia, and I wish I would have, because I feel like I would have got half a point at least.
Partial credit.
One of the kids is dead. They had so many opportunities to kill Paige this whole episode, and they never did.
For sure, everyone was dead in that garage scene. There was this very tense. I liked it.
It was good. Nuclear clock makes an appearance. Did not. Nothing.
I didn't see a single clock.
And there was not a knife fight. There was like no fights, really.
There was a gun.
There was a tense talking with a gun, but there was no fights.
I was surprised by the lack of fights or shootouts or stuff like that.
They don't kill people.
Well, in the previously on, she murdered a woman, which I didn't really see. I heard like a thud, and then the woman fell, and she just kept walking as if nothing happened.
Oh, yeah, she didn't shoot her with a shotgun.
No, but what did you see? What she did?
She had like a silenced pistol.
Yeah, she just walked past and went,
her.
Boop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then kept
There's
walking.
That makes sense. I just was like, did she just somehow very quickly
She force pushed her.
break the girl's woman's neck really quickly, and no one saw it?
She did the old Philip and grabbed her by the Adam's apple and twisted.
Just twist it give a little twist to the old spine from the front. Okay, mine were. Where are mine? Defect. Did not defect. Definitely went back to Russia. Did not become Americans. Paige did not then get to go to an Ivy League college from that deal, from the deal they made.
And I don't think she was in an Ivy League college to begin with.
She was in a college.
Yeah, so was Henry, but he wasn't in an Ivy League college for sure. He went to
0.25?
He was in like St. Edward's. Just because she went to college?
Edwards.
No.
Stan is dead.
Nope.
No.
Twins win the World Series.
No.
Didn't.
Not in this universe.
I mean, yeah, they didn't win in 87 in this universe. As far as I know, baseball doesn't exist in this universe.
Oh, man.
Just saying. Hockey does. That's all we know. Only sport we can confirm.
Hockey.
Hockey.
Of course, the Russians.
The Russian sport.
He's going to be a natural.
Yeah, he was just real good. Well,
so it's a full ride.
So is this our first perfect game?
Yeah. We shot the moon.
And missed.
No, it's not our first. I have got it pulled up. Don't Trust the Bee and Apartment 23 was our first.
Also at a 0.
Oh, we all did
Season
0.
1.
Interesting. All right.
Also, Lost in Gilmore Girls and
oh God,
did we just forget to count the points for
Mighty
those?
Morphin Alien Rangers.
All right, come on. You're just being mean.
I don't have all of season 2 in here.
Now you're just being mean, Jimmy.
How was Malcolm in the Middle? How did that go?
It's good.
It was a good show.
Was that good?
I like that
I
show.
should listen and watch along, as you should, listeners.
Yeah.
When you find us on the iTunes and the Stitcher.
I mean, they're listening.
The YouTubes.
They're listening. They've already found us on one of those, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean when they watch Malcolm in the Middle with me and
Fair.
listen to your rants.
Well, they can tweet at you at F&L Podcast or hit the Gmail account at the same F&L Podcast at gmail.com.
And the Facebook, if you're into, giving your data to the world.
Yeah, if you want to go over to Jimmy's house and watch Malcolm in the Middle with him.
Facebook us.
Over. It'll be nice. We'll have a nice time. It won't be weird at all. But, total silence.
Yeah, don't talk during the show.
No eye contact.
Well, that's the one rule we have. Yeah, no talking during the show for sure. Cool. Well, before we run away, is anyone watching the show more?
Oh yeah, it seems dope. I think I'm super into it.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It looks pretty good. I think I'll watch it. I think I got to finish Malcolm though.
Oh, is Malcolm your new Frasier?
I'm on season 6 of Malcolm in the Middle.
Damn.
Wow. I just finished, I think, season 7 of Frasier.
Hey.
It's the one where it ends with Niles and Daphne running off from Daphne's
that's
wedding.
when the shit goes down. That's when stuff gets real good.
It's all real good, Jimmy.
Yeah, but it's kind of uphill for a while there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just a race, the fun sprint to the finish.
That's true. That. There's a part in the show where it gets really Niles heavy, and that's a really good part.
Yeah.
So
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Good for you, Joe. Is what I'm trying to say.
Way to go,
keep
bud.
rolling. It's great.
Proud
I'm into
of you.
it. I'm gonna intersperse it with some Americans.
Nice. It's a good call.
There's a cat in here. If anyone can hear.
It's good to have it. It's good to have a drama and then a Frasier.
Pete's
Back
cat's
up.
come to say hello. All right. Well, before he takes over our podcast,
You just laid down. We don't have the camera in here anymore.
No.
You can't see what's going on.
Shut the camera down.
we're playing with a video podcast, but we haven't done it yet. We'll get there, guys, because I know you guys just want to watch us sitting on chairs
Yeah, just want to
at
stare
the
at us
same time.
sitting in a room.
But until we get the video podcast working, listen to all the other episodes again. Rate us 5 stars. And
Yeah,
tell
listen
us how
to
good we are.
every. You missed some things. Go listen to all of them again.
Trust me, there's hidden gems. I'm whispering jokes into this microphone all the time.
We should go back and edit a special edition of some of the episodes. Just
We can say we. You mean I should?
Yeah.
Say we.
just add just porg sounds in the background, and it's the special edition now.
All right, I quit. Thank you for listening, everybody. We will see you next week. Goodbye. I'm the only person that says goodbye. On
I
this
got nothing.
podcast.
I got later. But
You're just gonna say goodbye.
bye. Peace out.